Let's move to the East. You've got a couple of teams that should put the fear of life into everybody that plays them. If they get fear of life, fear of death,
the fear of Tom Crean.
Yes, the fear of Tom Crean into their hearts if they get going from outside.
So if the South was about the Pac-12, the East is about the Big Ten.
Yeah.
So Indiana and Michigan, two of the better shooting teams in the country. Indiana, I think a lot of people know they take a lot of threes. That's just how they roll. They've been like that for the last 4 or 5 years. Right now, they don't have James Blackman. A lot of people know him, McDonald's All-American, good player. They're probably better without him. So who does that leave on the perimeter? Mr. Yogi Ferrell and Robert Johnson, two very good three-point shooters. I think Yogi's been up and down this year, but he's a point guard, so that's kind of to be expected. He's asked to do a lot on the court because he's been the leader of that team for the last few years. This is his season where it's make or break.
His team, yeah.
Make or break or go to Europe. I'm not so sure he's an NBA player. But he's a great college point guard, and this is his time. And then Robert Johnson really is that spot-up guy that you need to hit shots in a tournament. He's the guy that is like third, fourth option on a team that gets hot during the tournament. You've got to look out for him. Teams are going to have to guard him. Indiana's going to need him to play well if they're going to advance.
Yeah, and really spread the court against a lot of these teams who you don't get to the tournament if you're bad defensively, if you don't guard the perimeter.
Absolutely.
So he does take on that role. And another team that you feel like can shoot well, even though they are playing, I believe, in a play-in game, you feel like if this team does have a chance to get into the tournament, into a meaningful level, it's going to have to be from outside.
Michigan, we may not even see them come Thursday. They're playing, I don't even know if it's tomorrow.
Friday night, it's so Wednesday and Friday.
So they're Wednesday. They're playing Tulsa on Wednesday again. Everyone in the world hates Tulsa right now, and Syracuse. But the way that Tulsa and Notre Dame, who could be their next opponent after that, they allow you to shoot the three. And Michigan's a pretty good three-point shooting team. They're also pretty reliant on it. So you would think that there's going to be a lot of three-pointers taken in that game. Guys that stick out, Duncan Robinson, Aubrey Dawkins, and Derek Walton. Duncan's their go-to guy from a three-point perspective, kind of like a Robert Johnson. He's not their best player. He may not even be their second best player, but he's probably their most reliable three-point shooter. You got to make sure you get him the ball. A guy that is not, we didn't list when we talked earlier, prepping for this, was Zach Irvin. He takes a lot of threes.
Yes, he does.
And he hasn't made as many this year. He's the guy that a lot of people know about, but at the same time, he hasn't performed, I think, as well as people were looking for him to do. But again, they will take a lot of threes because the opponents that they have for these first few games, assuming that they play out that way, they're going to give them that shot. So naturally, it's just going to happen. Expect a lot of long balls if the Wolverines are on the court.
If you're going to give me a percentage, both of you, of Michigan getting to Sunday, I suppose, so that means beating Tulsa and beating Notre Dame, what percentage in your mind, how likely is that to happen?
I mean, I would say probably a 40% chance. It seems like every year there's a team that plays in the first four, goes on a run. Michigan potentially could be that team because Tulsa, everyone's upset about Tulsa being in this tournament. Most likely, Michigan's favored in that game. And then Notre Dame, great offensive team, not a great defensive team. So that's a game Michigan can win for sure, I think. So, I think even though the Wolverines were sort of a controversial selection on the bubble to an extent, I wouldn't be surprised if they move on to the round of 32.
Give me a percent.
I think it's 50-50. I don't love what they're doing in the front court, but I love their matchups here, and I love the fact that if the ball's going in against these teams, they're going to win.
So our sharpshooters from the East, we have Yogi Ferrell and we have Duncan Robinson, which, by the way, that's a great front court for the Spurs. 90s, Duncan Robinson. What a name.
You're right.
I love it.
There it is.
Hey, Internet friends. Thanks for watching Bracket War Room, presented by Tom Clancy's The Division video game. You know what? While I've got you here, why don't you check out Heroes of March, also presented by Tom Clancy's The Division video game. Do it. Click right here, or you can click right there. Ooh, what about this one? I think you're going to like those. Click them. Do it.